Am I the asshole for not putting away clean dishes? So I F24, have a roommate F22, who is pretty cool and chill. I met her through a friend, and was needing someone to rent a room from the house I was living in. It has been all good. I am not the one to clean someone else's dishes. I don't mind to help out when need, but I do already clean the counters and kitchen sink on a daily basis when possible. I started to notice my roommate would wash her dishes and let them sit to dry, and dry and dry. They have started to stack up. I have felt conflicted on asking if she knows where everything goes, and is that why it just sits there? It just throws me off, and I don't even have space to let my dishes dry when I wash my own stuff. I don't know how to approach the situation. I know I could just be the bigger person and put them away, but it would be another time of me just doing it and letting her see that it's okay to do that. Maybe I'm overthinking, but I don't understand how she can't see stacking clean dishes and letting them sit out defeats the purpose of a clean kitchen. Not the asshole, LMAO. Your roommate has mistaken the drying rack for a second cabinet and is now using it as open concept storage. At this point those plates aren't drying, they've established legal residence. You're not her mom, her maid, or the dish put away fairy. Next time you catch her in the kitchen, just hit her with, "Hey, can we make a deal that once dishes are dry they get put away? I don't have space to dry my stuff when the rack is full." Short, adult, and to the point. If she can wash them, she can walk them the extra 3 feet to the cabinet. She's obviously abusing a shared space by taking it over with her stacks of dishes. Now you are a conflict avoider. Conflict avoidance is a losing life strategy, and it invariably makes you an AH. Hey, do you mind not letting your clean dishes sit out for that long? Is that so hard? Just ask her nicely. Could you please put the clean dishes away before you wash the next set? Not difficult, but if you don't ask, how will she know it bothers you? If she continues to leave them there after you ask, then she's the aholi. Not the asshole, unless you don't ask her. Not the asshole, but she isn't either. Different families/houses have different rules and expectations. Time to discuss what you guys want yours to be. Roommates is great practice for having these type of conversations, finding out your own deal breakers, and learning to compromise, but also stand up for your wants. Humans all have different quirks. Might be easier to put the clean dishes away if they are bothering you than trying to find a new roommate, or it might be easier for you to find someone who holds your same value of cleanliness than clean up after roommate, who doesn't seem bothered by what you see as a mess all the time. Not the asshole, but the bright side here is that she's not leaving dirty dishes lying around. Not the asshole. I've been the roommate who has to pick up after others, and I fucking hated it. Am I the asshole for not giving a kid a rare Pokemon? I, 33M, play this game called Pokemon Go. It's a mobile game that is free to play, F2P, but has a ton of microtransactions. Some of the rarest Pokemon are only obtainable via raids, and raid tickets cost $1 for 1 or $2.50 for 3. Every day you get a free raid pass, but beyond that, it's locked behind a paywall. There are ways to grind for free in-game currency, but it's tedious. I'll fully admit that I wail pretty hard for the game. There is an event this week where this really rare Pokemon is in raids. However, there is a small chance that the Pokemon will have a special background. There is also a small chance for the Pokemon to be shiny, which is an alternate color/skin of the original Pokemon, making it more rare. I spent a ton of money stocking up on raid tickets because my goal is to get several of the rare Pokemon that is both shiny and has a background. It's basically playing the lottery. At our community raid event, we did a ton of raids, and I somehow ended up with several of the Pokemon that is both shiny and has a background. Someone brought their kid, who also plays, to the event, and unfortunately they did not get a shiny nor a background. They also didn't raid as much as me. After the raids, when we were just sitting there and checking our loots, I was asked how I did, and I answered honestly. I hit the jackpot several times. The kid immediately asked if I can trade him one. I told them no, as it was a rare find, and I spent a lot of money on it. They kept pressing and saying how I had several. However, the Pokemon also has several forms, with one unreleased, so I'm trying to future-proof, and thus I want to build up several. They kept pressing me, and I kept saying no. The kid started throwing a tantrum, and the dad just called me a dick for ruining his kid's day. I told them I was not obligated to give them anything, and he tried telling me how I was an asshole, and like how at baseball games, the balls that get hit out always go to kids, and I should do the same in Pokemon. I just laughed and said something along the lines of meh, Better luck next time. Tough break. I didn't think much of it until I saw a Discord this morning of someone, I'm assuming the dad, blasting my account name in our local Discord group telling people not to raid with me because I'm an asshole for ruining his kid's day. Am I the asshole? Edit. Sorry for formatting. Edited it. I forgot you had to double line break on mobile. Also it was Necrozma. Not the asshole. Honestly tired of the notion that games and animation stuff is for kids. It's for people who want to play. Period. You're not hogging actual resources like food and water. These are digital resources the game distributes to whomever. The kid was okay to ask, but you're well within your rights to say no. Once the parents stepped in and harassed you, frankly that gets into FAFO territory, and I'm not going to judge past that. The parents are the ones setting this kid up with false expectations, and they ruined his day. Not the asshole, and Pokemon is not baseball. The game distributes the rewards, and you get to keep what you randomly get. This is more like a moderate win when you buy a lottery ticket. Would he expect that to be given to his kid too? In short, this is a spoiled kid, an entitled parent. Just ignore them. Not the asshole. What kind of lesson is that for the kid? Sure, it's just Pokemon now, but that sets an awful precedent for entitled behavior, especially with his dad enabling it. Not the asshole. Tell your side of the story on Discord saying how a dad tried to bully you to trade up your rare Pokemon. Not the asshole. I also play Pogo. I spend occasionally, but not that often. The spirit of Pokemon is meant to be trading, but not demanding. He still has a Necrozma, possibly several, but not a shiny one with a special background. Did he have an equivalent rarity Pokemon to offer you in trade? I doubt it. To be honest, I really wish they hadn't done the backgrounds as it felt way too much like the cards, which I am sick of hearing about. You couldn't have traded a shiny with a brand new friend anyway, so I don't see what the big issue is here. Am I the asshole for always going to bed late? So this just happened, but also has been happening repeatedly. I, 30F, have been going to bed at least 30 minutes after my husband, 30M. Not on purpose, mind you, this just always seems to happen. You see, I am a Som. We have 3 kids, 1 year 5 years, and 2 dogs and 2 cats. Before going to bed, I am always, the one who has to let the dogs outside to do their last potty break of the night before plugging in their invisible fence collars. And then I have to turn off all the lights and sometimes prep coffee, depending on how early my husband needs to get up for work. My baby always seems to wake up by the time my husband or I get upstairs. So then, I have to nurse the baby, adding another 10-15 minutes to the nighttime routine. And most of these nights, I hadn't had a chance to actually get ready for bed myself. Also, my 1-year-old has entered a sleep regression stage. So getting him to go back to sleep after a feed is a pain in my already tired butt. Tonight, my German Shepherd, that I didn't want in the first place, he is my husband's dog, chased one of our cats down the stairs causing drums in the deep, thus waking the baby, so I had to feed him. It was 10:30 p.m. I feed the baby and tried putting him back to bed. Nope. He was awake. Not done nursing. So I nursed him some more. My 2-year-old rolled over in his sleep and nearly fell out of his bed, waking himself up. I tried shushing him and got him some milk. He cried very loudly and woke the baby, who I had just gotten to sleep. I was frazzled, to say the least, and muttered for him to shut up, purely out of exhausted emotion. I corrected myself by whispering sweetly that I got him his milk and tucked him in. He began to doze, but now my baby is very awake. My husband grumbled at me that I always do this and that I should go to bed earlier. Like that is the ultimate solution. If I go to bed before him, I know he will not plug in the dog's collars or turn off the lights. Because of past experiences. I snapped at him and told him his commentary was not warranted nor wanted. Have I been the a-hole here? There are things I could do earlier, I'll admit. Your husband needs to get his lazy backside out of bed and help deal with his children and pets. Not the asshole. Husband needs to take some responsibility. How dare he just swan off to bed and leave you to deal with the pets and lights, and then the kids when they inevitably wake up, and then have the hide to make out like it's your fault you're not in bed earlier? He sucks. Drums in the deep face with tears of joy, great reference. Not the asshole, your husband sounds useless. Which is fine, I guess, if that's what works for you guys. But he has to shut the fuck up about bedtime when he refuses to contribute at bedtime. Sorry, but why isn't that grown man being a man and helping you out? Not the asshole. Why isn't this guy helping you? Why are you doing all of this? Why can't he take on the potty break / lights / coffee? Or the 1-year-old? Bring you the baby who needs to nurse? Why does he just get to go to bed? Am I the asshole for asking my girlfriend to pack my food for travel if I'll be the only one driving? 24M and 24F, in relationship since 3.5 years. Currently, we work in the same city but live separately, planning to move in together soon. We like to travel. I've a hatchback. So we travel almost every week to a temple around 1.5 hours far away from one side. We pack one time's food. We do things on budget. So I proposed her the idea to take responsibility of our food, basically pack my one-time food too, just like I'm taking 100% load of driving. By this way, things will get more balanced, and it will enable me to wake up at 4:30 instead, an extra 30 minutes sleep. Info. Why can't you guys pack the food the night before so you can both get an extra 30 minutes of sleep? Everyone sucks here if you ask me. You're the asshole for making this transactional, and she's the asshole for not being willing to help out more. Why don't you guys just pack the food the night before? Not only are you waking up at a ridiculously silly time to go somewhere that's only an hour and a half away, but you're adding on things to do in the morning as well. Just be like everybody else and wake up at 7:30. Pack your food and be on your way. Get there at 9 a.m. It's kind of sounding like this is a stressful thing that you probably shouldn't be doing every weekend. The frequency doesn't sound like it's working for you, and it's making small things like this feel huge. No assholes here, just find more local trips to do. I think it's fair to ask her to pack the food. Driving is stressful and can easily be taken for granted. Why aren't you packing food the night before if you want to sleep in? And if driving that long is too much on you, pick a midway point and switch drivers. Or find a temple that's closer. Not the asshole. Given you do all of the driving, it is only fair that she do something for the two of you. Is the food a money issue for her?